Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Oh, welcome to Coping with Life. I am your host, Scott. It is Saturday, everybody. How are you? Last week I made a prediction. Did not come true. It's all good. This is not a prediction video, and just for people who are interested, it's just going to be ramble. But it is Saturday. Hopefully your Saturday is going good. Even if it's Wednesday, it is Saturday. So, my week hasn't been the best. I was playing Elden Ring. And I like it. And, yes, this week is going to be ramble. I don't know what direction I'm going to take it in. But there's a lot of games that are coming out that I would like to play. I was playing Elden Ring, and I'm about 1 hour and 53 minutes in it. I have died many times. I'm still not doing the best. My throat is hurting. But that is okay. And I'm doing the best that I can. I am proud of me, and I'm proud of you, and I am grateful for everything that you do, and hopefully you are living the best life you can. And that matters. And this past week I've learned a lot of things, and I've realized that I need to work on a lot of things. And that's, self-reflection and just, ways to go forward with a few things. And, also, letting go on a few things. Trying to better my quality of life, better things. Try and, smile a little bit more. And find ways to just affect people. And, I didn't stream last week on Wednesday. I wasn't feeling the best. And just, zoning in, zoning out, and depression takes a toll, and, not a lot of people understand. There's a lot of people out there who may not understand, and that's okay. But the people who understand, or have an idea of how, it may affect somebody. And to me, it affects me very hard. And it's not like I'm letting it control my life. But, I'm doing a lot of things to try and combat it, and sometimes it is overwhelming. that's, but, finding ways to, counterbalance, you have the justice scales and, trying to balance everything. Sometimes it gets a little heavy, and but I'm a trooper. I'm somebody who is going to persevere, and hopefully overcome. And I try really hard to reach out to people and have them live the best life they can, and give them all the I'm proud of you. Keep up the good work. I love you. Care about you. I'm proud of you. And it's good stuff. When I talk to people, I don't have a motive, an ulterior motive. I just am a caring human being who will reach out to people and say, hey, whatever you're going through, I hope things get better, find ways to, lift people up. And, even though I'm struggling, I don't try and get the focus on me on, where my faults may lay, but just knowing that things will get better and improving, and I do believe that I'm slowly getting better, and I'm glad that you're joining the ride of me coping with life, me finding words is not the easiest, and sometimes it's hard for me to talk. Sometimes it's hard to me to find the right words. And, last night I was trying to play Elden Ring, and the people that I was talking to were doing everything in their power for me to, it's a safe place, and that, hold a conversation. And I'm like, I need to go to bed. And they knew that I wasn't myself. I'm still not myself today. But sleeping, I feel a little bit refreshed. I feel good today. It is, it's Saturday. And normally the way that I have my schedule planned out, Saturday is, it's very structured. I have it, planned to the T. And a little behind the curtain, I do record the episodes, one shot, in one take, but, I may say something that is not factual. I may say something that is, well, yeah, I may say something that is inaccurate, and, or I may say something that, I'm not totally comfortable with, subject, and usually maybe the next week I may say it in a different way, and I'm okay with that. And so I try different things, but yeah, I'm glad that I have a way to vocalize and air of my week, and I have many ideas going forward. I just need to implement it and see what works. I'm trying things. At the end of the day, it is coping with life, and there's mentally ill and disabled. Being disabled and mentally ill, I got a lot of bad cards that I'm dealing with, and I'm trying to improve. And when I say, I say things that inaccurate or things that are untrue, I'm not talking about lying, I'm more talking about, I may have said a wrong time, or I think it was a couple weeks ago, where I've got days confused, but sometimes I can make some mistakes and go forward. Sometimes those mistakes are like, no, I need everything to be perfect. And one of the reasons why I don't really edit my episodes is because I want people to know that, I'm trying my best, and, the people who are listening, who are struggling, knowing, find inspiration from me trying to stand up and help other people. And the world is the way it is right now, and if you're, I don't know why you'd be coming here for things of going on in the world. This is not a place for that. For me and what I personally enjoy, or what I look up, doesn't mean that I'm going to talk about things of the nature and try and find other ways to lift people up and fight your struggles, because dealing with depression, and there is not an easy fix for depression, and depending where you're at, or and surrounding yourself with good people, especially knowing those people who support me and care about me. At the same time, they understand when I need to just take my headset off and go to bed and rest, even though it hurts them, because they've seen my highs. They would like, that version of me. And only one of those people have seen the true lows, and I don't know if they ever want to see that of me again. And even though I'm a lot better than I used to be, but it's a continuous fight. It's a continuous battle that I deal with, and it's a lot of ebb and flows, and you have to find a nice balance. And knowing that, something that, I'm dealing with, sometimes it's hard to, not only be open, but, go, I'm going to take a mental health day. Normally, I just want to make everybody happy. I want to make everybody proud. And I want to just be there for people and just be, silly and make corny jokes and just be the clown that I am. I don't shy behind that. I find ways to make people laugh and just be me, but knowing that I take care of myself, and I can gauge of how I want to conduct things. And, I give the people in my life so much credit, especially you, the listener. I appreciate you very much. No matter what your opinion on me is, good or bad, I care about you. And I appreciate everything that you've done. And, I'm proud of me for sticking with it and not be, frustrated. And, there's a lot of things that I would like to do, but, sometimes, a rambling video, or a rambling episode, a rambling podcast is, the best that I can do. And that's the best that I can do today, is a rambling episode. And, I'm not going to take a break, even though I've been told that I should. But I'm going to continue doing what I can, and this is the best. And I can't thank you all enough, and I hope this inspires other people. And if people struggling, I do want everybody to have a voice, even if it's unheard, because I want people to hear those unheard voices. It's so important for me to help people who have a hard time to be heard. And no matter how hard it may be to break down the walls, that is my goal. I'm tired of people not wanting to discuss, that mental illnesses and disabilities exist, because they do, especially with, depression, and that. Don't ignore it. We have to find ways to listen and try and, you know, there's so much that I could talk about this, and I want to continue to, you know, I, find the voice to be heard, and, when I've told people, I've battled depression, it's like, just be happy. Think happy thoughts and butterflies and all that. It's like, wow, it's that simple? Ooh, I'm cured. But that's not how that works. If that's the way it works, I don't know if depression would exist. And there's several layers of depression. There's so many levels of depression. And yes, if you get, chronic depression later in life, it is, that is very detrimental. That is, could be horrible things compared to people who have chronic depression since the age of 8. Because since as a child being depressed, you find ways in it. Once that way of depression to fight it no longer works, you adapt and find other ways to combat that level. Where if you get it later in life, you may not find the right avenues, or you may, go, oh, I can't do this thing anymore, where you've had it your entire life. The struggle is there, and then they both have a catastrophic end to it. So find ways to communicate, find ways to reach out to people, and just be honest. Just be open, and it's not easy. I just made it sound so easy. It's not. It is definitely like pulling teeth, and especially if it's hard to be honest, find ways. And it is not easy for me to discuss everything about my depression, and but I try, and I try very hard to help people who just need to listen. I apologize, not people who need to listen. Okay, what I'm trying to say is there are people out there who need you to listen. What I was saying earlier, normally I would have scrapped this entire episode based on that gaffe, because to me that's an inaccuracy. People need you to listen, and people who, sometimes, for me, I do get discouraged when they want me to repeat myself, because it pains me, because, I want to be heard, and if you didn't bother listening to me the first time, it hurts. But, I have to also get better, and, maybe I also have to open my ears, and, some people just want to talk, and, whatever those people are going through is hard. And, they need somebody to listen to. They need, they may not be looking for guidance or ways to heal. They just want to get stuff off their chest. And it does. It pains me that there's a lot of people out there who turn a blind eye and, put their fingers in there and ignore that, mental illness and disabilities don't exist, or the levels of that. I've been told countless times that I'm not actually disabled, that I'm not actually struggling in my life. I am lazy. Okay. There's a line there. Great. If that's what you think, and be blind, fantastic. Now, does laziness exist? Yes. But there's a difference between a lazy person and somebody who's struggling in life. And now, is laziness a correlation with depression? I'm not somebody who can judge that. But, if somebody told me, hey, clean the dishes. Okay, now I'm not feeling too well to clean the dishes. You ask a lazy person, in my opinion, to clean the dishes? No. But then if you tell the lazy person, hey, I will give you $100 to clean the dishes. 9 out of 10 times that person's going to clean the dishes. You ask me to clean the dishes for $100. I'm, depending on circumstances, most likely I won't, because I don't want to get up unless I need to. Now, I live alone. Nobody's going to give me $100 to clean the dishes. Now, for me, I'm proud that, my dishes are cleaned. But most of the time, even if there's incentive, sometimes I don't actually want to do that, because I would like to just lay down and curl up and cry. But I don't like when a lot of people who visionize where you have to be in a wheelchair, or you have to be handicapped to be disabled, either be in crutches or it's like disability and mental illnesses exist way more. And I have a patch on one of my scars that, not all disabilities are visible. And I proudly wear that. Proudly go and, try and be the best advocate that I can be. But, I'm not, a doctor. I'm not a therapist. I'm not somebody who has a much bigger educated brain. I am somebody who is struggling, who has struggled my entire life with several mental illnesses and depression just being a cog in the entire, ecosystem that builds me. That's one of the many things that I struggle with, and there's a lot of things that I would like out of life, and there's a lot of things that I want out of life that I will never achieve. And I have to realize that, and for people who don't know me, just assuming that I am lazy for the sake of being lazy, it hurts. It does a lot of damage to, my self-esteem, and makes me a little bit more insecure and more closed off. Because I try really hard to be the best that I can be. And it's not easy. But I love you all. I'm going to end this rambling episode. Thank you. I love you all. Please have a safe Saturday. Please have a safe week. Just love life. Just, no matter what you're going through, it will get better. And if you know people who are having a rough time, maybe just give them a hug. Or a virtual hug. Tell them you love them. Because life gets better, man. It just does. Still hoping. Still, And I don't know what next week will bring, but I look forward to it. Till next Saturday, this has been another episode of Coping with Life. I'm your host, Scott. And I bid you all adieu.